back with, again, my Amazonite, the Russian Amazonite that I'm wearing. Here is our brand new ring. We gave you one little sneak peek, and already sizes are getting incredibly limited right across the board here. $159.99, 5 monthly flex payments, item 668809. And this is the multi-gemstones that are highlighting it, the peridot, the garnet, the amethyst, the citrine, and then the freeform aventurine here. Over 2¼ carats of natural gemstones. It's like, it's the creme de la creme, if you think about it, right? Because you have, it looks like jade.
Imperial jade.
Imperial jade, which is the most sought after, and that gorgeous color. And then you're getting the reflection, the beauty here of the beautiful, some of the most beautiful gemstones in the world, all in one.
So I want everyone to please just look at the ring on Lynn's hand while I tell you the story. First of all, this ring, did this in Tiger's Eye last year. It was a customer pick. And what so many of you have shared with me is that when you first saw it, you weren't sure. You're like, oh my God, this is the coolest, most beautiful ring ever. But then you said, you know what, I gotta get it home and I have to try it. And you made it a customer pick. Every person that reviewed this ring talked about the incredible shape, the comfort, the fact that all of the gemstones, they're all baguette cut. The thing about baguette that is so beautiful is, as opposed to having sparkle, it has flashes of light. It's an Art Deco cut. You have all of these incredible colors. That looks beautiful. First of all, just the cushion silhouette is so feminine. It's like like an emerald cut with rounded corners. The accents, the prongs, look how each one of the prongs is supporting one of those amazing baguettes. So this is called, first of all, this is high couture design for sure. It's Art Deco, it's bursting with color, it's handcrafted, hand carved. I call this ring the good life. There's a photographer by the name of Slim Aarons, and he's got all his books that chronicle the good life of, in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, of the richest people in the world. And on the cover of one of his books, and this is the reason why this ring is called the good life, on the cover of one of his books, it's the Amalfi Coast, which is in Italy. It's there, you know, for rich people, where rich people go. And in the Amalfi Coast, it's all these fabulous women and men lying on the beach with all of their colored umbrellas on top of them. And I saw this and I was like, wow, the Aventurine is going to be the sea. It's gonna be that beautiful Amalfi Sea. And I'm gonna take all of those incredible baguettes. They're from the 30s, that cut and style, not the stone, but the baguette cut was so popular in the 30s. And I'm gonna make that be like these amazing, colorful umbrellas. You know the umbrellas that line the beaches in Europe? Like in America, we don't use that many umbrellas in our beaches. In Europe, the entire beaches are lined with the most beautiful colored umbrellas. And that's where the good life comes from. So this ring is a symbol of the highest jet set lifestyle. It is sort of like taking my pictures in my mind from Slim Aarons' book of the good life and translating that into a ring that you can wear every single day.
I'm looking at the today's special options. I'm just mixing and matching because they all go perfectly. And just to remind you, this is your aquamarine version. This is the ruby zoisite. This is the Russian Amazonite. And we also have the rose quartz. Those are the 4 colors still remaining. First time we ever offered champagne diamonds, close to 10 points, and never before at $99.98 and free shipping and 5 flex pays and
And it's all flickering. I think that with the ring, the way we've staggered the baguettes in there so that they're high and low gives you this incredible depth. You almost feel like you're jumping into swimming pools with the flashes of light that are coming through each one of the gemstones. Mm-hmm. Now there is a reason to say, okay, this is perfect with the ruby zoisite. I've got the beautiful green that matches the aventurine. I've got the ruby in here. It all works with these colors. But you know what? There's another perfect reason to say, why wouldn't I get this with the Russian Amazonite? I'm gonna be able to work those greens together so beautifully. But you know something? The truth of the matter is that with the milky aqua, which is that beautiful slate blue, it's just a celebration of sea. The point being that because you've got all the colors in this ring, all those faceted those emerald cut, 14 facets in each one. Those gemstones and the way they're staggered, they're gonna work. Diamonds, natural gemstones, just cut,
Perfectly.
shimmering.
They're gonna scoot us on here, brand new, very popular. Here's what's left. Sizes 5, 7, and 9. So definitely secure this wonderful one-of-a-kind brand new pieces. I love the ring because it goes back.